So we're now back in Rochester. You won't win any prizes for guessing we're in Rochester Castle, which was built in the 1080s by the Norman architect Bishop Gundulf. And we've decided to come and have a closer look. I came here a while back, a few years ago, with Alex and Dan, and we had a closer look. But now I think we've got better quality camera. We thought we'd come back in, look at some of the graffiti, and challenge Rick's skills as a cameraman to see if he paralyses himself on the stairways which have eroded over centuries. So if he manages to film without causing any major harm to himself, I'll be nothing less than incredibly impressed. Now, before we go and look at the first room, I've got to point this out. Which is the well, which is why it was such a nightmare to siege this place, because they had a source of water. But quite often, it was about how much food you had, not your water if you had a well. So there were sieges reported here that they only didn't last long because they didn't have enough food. As for water, they'd have been fine. Now come with me. Now that's a big old step there, Rick. This is the cesspit. But imagine the smell of the whole castle as a result of this room. And you'd just be living in it. Absolutely charming. Alex and I actually filmed in here last time, and the sound didn't come out, unfortunately. So you'd be sitting on one of your toilets upstairs, and then it would come down a chute like this. Look, see the chute there? And then some poor bugger down here would be shoveling it. Charming. So if you think your job is crap, you don't know the half of it. Right, Rick, how are you feeling on the stairs? You going to be okay?
I think I manage all right.
Now, something you'll find across castles is the fact that going downwards, the stair set would be set anti-clockwise. And the reason for this is because of your right hand being your sword hand. So if you're all upstairs and the downstairs gates are being breached, going to swing your sword down, and you can see by the shape of the stairs, it would be a nightmare to try and, if you turn the camera that way, and you can imagine you're right-handed, you'd have to put your sword in your left hand to try and swing upwards. Whereas if you're defending it, it would be a very easy position to do it. And that's why all of the stairs, mainly across castles, are the same. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier with the death-defying job that our beloved Rick has today filming. Because look at the erosion on these stairs. Look at this. Just look at that. Hundreds of years. And where we are right now is particularly picturesque, but it's dark. So hopefully we'll catch up on some of the old graffiti very shortly. That's it. Hold that handle nice and tight. That's it.
I'll be all right.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear it. Speak for yourself. Now this is a room that Alex and I narrated before. This is the chapel. Alex and I was here. There was a model here. It's long gone. When I say it's long gone, I don't work here, so I don't know. They might have got rid of it yesterday. I don't know. From 1066, the Norman invasion, down to 1884, where it was purchased, the castle, right? Bear in mind, if you want to own a flat now, an apartment in, I don't know, Stratford, in East London, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. This castle was bought for £6,572. If it, say you only had £6,570, do you reckon they'd have let him off the quid? Or
Who knows?
Who knows? Come through here, Rick. Now, unfortunately, to many of you religious people out there, I'm not a cleric, but this is what it would have looked like a long time ago. Walk backwards for me, please, cameraman. But bear in mind, the priests of, Dark Age and old England didn't wear barber jackets, so it wouldn't have looked exactly like this, but somewhat. Just imagine you're sprinting around these stairs in a hurry. Yeah, that would be a complete nightmare. I mean, I've worked on building sites for years, and I became quite a health and safety hypochondriac. So this place is a complete night. I'd be having a meltdown every day. I'd be saying, right, stop running. Yeah, carry that carefully. This was the Great Hall here. And you can tell that immediately by, if Rick comes over to where I am, come over here, Rick, you can see where the grand fireplace was. Look to the right. Can you see it over there? So we'll be able to get a better view of it upstairs, but that's where the main banquet fireplace was. So, Christ's sake, try not to drop that phone. Yeah, we'll get a better view of it in a moment anyway. I am the trousers from ancient past. Ooh.
See you now.
All you ghost hunters out there, come find me. Cool, that there is a good excuse to plummet, that is, if you're not careful. I hope you're taking notes out of this. Rochester Castle. This is Vinnie Sullivan's health and safety. Basically, I'm doing a check and I'm not satisfied. So you will be hearing more from me. No doubt I'll probably hear from you. Look what a glorious view that is. Look down there. Tad windy. Now, this place is truly optically amazing wherever you are, because though it looks similar, your view from whichever window you look through, it's not. It's different. You're seeing the other side of the wall. You're seeing a different part of the archways, and you're seeing the renovations that went on through centuries. What a windy affair. So that would mean this tower over here is the one that come down. This would be the round tower, once we get up there anyway. Now we can't go down here, but you tell me I can't go somewhere. What do I do? Exactly as I'm told. That's what I'll do. Exactly as I'm told.
Plus you haven't got your cutting tools with you.
No, I haven't. My cat burglary kit.
Oh well.
It's incredibly eerie.
And the staircase continues right up there.
I mean, if you used to be here on your own and just get up one day, you lived locally and you came in here of a morning, it'd be a very eerie place to knock about, wouldn't it? We will be able to go up, Rick. Just not that way. And here's a view onto the Medway. This is the huge bend in the river. because this is the halfway point between Dover and London. This is where lots of fights would happen. If you wanted to get into London, into what was Roman settled London, you'd have to come through here first. Londinium.
Londinium indeed.
Now, just in case you couldn't think for yourself, there is a allocated selfie spot here, but if you are, if you've got a good enough camera, your background is actually a Poundland warehouse. So that's your selfie spot.
Poundland.
Poundland, yeah. It's a beautiful, beautiful location, and they stick that in eye shot. Fantastic.
The selfie spot. And there's that row of Victorian houses that I particularly like out this window.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're lovely. See the submarine actually above them.
Oh, well, that's it right there, yeah. What a great shot.
Oh, well, looks like this pigeon's seen better days.
Yeah, he's not looking all that happy, is he?
No. He might be on one of those keto diets or something.
It's a certain diet.
Right, now these have got sticky outy bits.
Ah, now we're getting technical.
So do
Sticky
be careful.
outy
Yeah,
bits.
no, obviously I try not to overcomplicate things architecturally. So now we'll go up and have a look at the towers. Let's have a look. These stairs are particularly death-defying.
I'll be
Look
careful.
at the erosion here, look.
Wow. Yeah. Now, what's that there?
That was for broadband.
Of course.
Medieval broadband, don't be silly, Rick. She's playing havoc with my hair, I tell you. And this is going to be a very windy affair, but look at this beautiful shot here. Look up there, look. This is one of the surviving towers. We're going to see the tower that came down momentarily, but this is where there's a particularly large dose of erosion around the stairs. So no plummeting, cameraman.
Do my best.
This takes me back, this does, being here with Alex a few years ago. Now, here you can see that if you was outside there, if you was sieging this castle and you was in control of the cathedral, you are in bolt or arrow shot of here. So you wouldn't be able to use that whole vicinity at the front of the cathedral, you'd have to be the other side. Because we know Cromwell had that cathedral among others. And this is the round tower that came down.
This is the one we spoke about in that video.
This is the one, yeah.
Rebuilt round because it was more solid this way.
So this whole tower came down. And bear in mind, you could have been standing on it when it happened, because I doubt they would have known it was coming. Not that you could stop it.
Imagine how terrifying that was to be up here as an archer and the ground gives way beneath you.
Well, apparently the noise was ungodly. Nice view here onto the beautiful homes which surround the castle, well, back onto the castle. And the huge bend in the Medway there, you see the bends coming around there, all the way around here. There's a huge bend behind us that you can't see. And it would have just been a complete nightmare to try and get your fleet past this point without getting into conflict with the fortifications at Rochester. Now, I don't think this bench is medieval, funnily enough. Pretty sure that's a new bench.
I'm not sure about medieval.
Yeah.
Possibly Tudor then.
But, yeah, it's not Norman, that's for sure. Now, one of the main reasons that we came into the castle was to look at the graffiti which is plastered all over it. And no, this isn't the sort of graffiti that you get in Shoreditch, okay? This is writing, spooky writing, which has been left here throughout centuries, and it is all over the castle, right? And it's just haunting to imagine when they could have been written, because imagine you're sieged in here for months and you've got nothing else to do but to scratch your name into these walls. And some of it looks like it's not in, well, it's not recognisable English. I mean, this up here, it looks suspiciously French or something like it.
Norman.
Yeah, unfortunately my Norman isn't what it was, so I'm unable to decipher it at the moment. A bit of practice and I'll be back at it.
Do you reckon these are murder holes then?
I should imagine so.
They probably have little spouts. They pour burning hot oil onto the unwanted invaders.
Yeah. I mean, this is obviously for your arrows, so this is where you lob out your big... I mean, if there are projectiles being thrown into these towers, bits of the tower might fall off and you just launch them back down at the people below.
Quite possibly.
And there was probably hordes of rubble kept aside just to launch it down at people for that eventuality. I mean, after all, you've only got X amount of arrows, haven't you? So be as inventive as you can. So anyway, let's go and have a look at the other tower before we vacate. And we can vacate. We can actually leave this place anytime we like. We don't need to worry about there being thousands of soldiers outside looking to mutilate us. And we'll remember that when King John's siege took place here, one of the rumours is that he wanted to cut the legs off or the feet off of everyone which had not come out of the castle instantaneously upon his arrival. And then it was said that he didn't do it because it would have caused him issues in the future. But we don't know what's true and what isn't. We just know of the interesting fables that were left behind by those that record history. This, I imagine, unless obviously someone has really managed to get a good siege on the go, would have been one of the least used towers. Though I wasn't around at the time, so. We are aware that there are remains of pigeons on the protective netting. They've put protective netting to stop the dead pigeons falling to the floor and people are going to tell them that there's dead pigeons on the pigeon netting. Imagine what a job's worth you've got to be to go and... Right, anyway, so you can see that the tower has had major changes over time, and outside there used to be wooden structures where the archers would fire. Obviously it would have been wood up, all built up here, so you could climb to the top there and actually fire from the top. It's not the same now. You don't need to put wood up there now. Obviously you could take a castle like this down in about 30 seconds with modern artillery. There's loads more writing here. But anyway, here's another spectacular view from the top. And from here, you can see the bend in the river, the largest bend in the river here, which further helps you understand the issues you'd have trying to get past this place with a fleet. And all we're going to do now is thank you for joining us and hope that you come down and see Rochester Castle, because it's great on camera, but it's these little things here. These are the things that are worth coming to see. This, because this is an insight into our past. Human beings did this. I know they built the castle, but this is different. These are the regular people that guarded the castle, made the bread, emptied the toilets, did all of that stuff. Us. It's us. And they're writing, whether they're from Normandy, whether they're Germanic, or whether they're Celtic, this is us. And it's fascinating. And it's all over the place. That almost looks like an arrowhead.
I got a nice picture with Daddy yesterday.
So this is the most clear of the graffiti we've seen so far. Is that coming up on your phone? Can't quite make that out, but
Something
W love.
Whitterby?
I can't see from my angle.
Yeah, it's hard to read, but that bit of
But that's the best one that we've been able to read anyway.